So Don Toliver releases some heat, but it's not without Octane. Now, while this album is a bit repetitive of things we've already heard from Don Toliver, I must say it is still some straight heat and honestly his best album. 18 solid tracks, no skips. Every track had its purpose, except the last one, which kind of threw me off a little bit. I wasn't sure about it, but still some heat. The production throughout this album is amazing. E85 is a great opening track. Then when you roll into the next track, Body, it hits you with this really cool synth, and then all you hear is,
oh my god, Josh, can I try on your glasses?
Spring cash with my Croyant. Yeah, with my Croyant. I know I pull up a spray, oh I don't play about her.
Then following that is Rendezvous with Yeet. I actually have never really listened to Yeet before, but his feature was amazing. Really cool tone. I wasn't really expecting, anything dynamic based off of what I've heard like years ago, but seamless track, loved it. They do like these really cool whiny tones throughout the track.
I'm with your friend, girl, I wanted you. I don't play pretend, but we really do. Fucking on this bitch and I got a screw. Got this bitch sick, like she got the flu. I'ma fuck this everything cool at the rendezvous.
Tripping. And then there's my favorite track on the project, ATM. It's this really cool up-tempo beat that kind of sounds like a dial tone. I mean, the hook on this track is crazy.
The rip sheet rock, just stay under. Let's go, heat hot, get on my teapot. Shawty want the drip drop, bitch I come with thunder. KDM, at the ATM.
Then the only song that kind of lost me was like Long Way to Calabasas that follows the ATM track. It just sounded like so whiny.
You don't really care what I say.
Yeah, I was trying to find the point in that one, but it still wasn't a skip. It in a way, it's enticing. Maybe it's just his tone. And of course, you don't have a Don Toliver project without Travis Scott somewhere in it. And Travis Scott was amazing. It was really cool to hear him in a different light, singing in a different tone. Very phenomenal verse.
Who you do less, don't sweat it. She give me right tonight, she give me my man.
That boy was singing. But yeah, I really feel like we got a cool opportunity to just really hear the range of Travis Scott in that song. And maybe I'm reaching, but every now and then Don Toliver has like this tendency to sound like YNW Melly. Like this one part.
Sweet, I'm trying to get high, y'all, yeah. She just wanna throw it back and do her best.
Tell me if I'm reaching. All the Signs, a very amazing track. It's actually featuring Teezo Touchdown. Within this track, you get a really cool beat change, which allows Teezo to take the song to a different dimension with his very amazing verse.
But I know you like that makeup sex, don't not get you wetter than that. When I raise my voice, you want when I make a point, you cry so when you come home.
And then that track is followed by a track called Call Back. When you gonna call back, Yeah, real Don Toliver-esque. I wouldn't say there's anything special about the song. The mix is amazing, but I mean, the mix is amazing throughout the whole entire project. Then you have Tuition, and that sounds like a cool midnight ride. That's actually one of the songs that stood out to me. For some reason, it oddly really drew me back in. Not that I ever really got lost listening to this album. It's so vampy, it's moody, really cool synths and sounds happening throughout the track. And then there's the track K9. Really, it wasn't a song I cared for until I heard Saw Baby. Saw Baby delivered very goofy verse, but still fly, like bro.
I might give her a son and a daughter. I'ma scramble them eggs, no ball. Shawty living, she'll know the word boy. Online stores, you show me, I tell you, of course. Big guys, I bust out the place.
That was actually the first song that I played twice. I just had to hear it again. Saw Baby was just so hard. Then there's TMU, and it comes in with the most mesmerizing beat ever. I remember just like coming down from being lit from the last track, and then all you get is a... But as the song progresses, that track kind of feels like yes, and then no, and then yes. Turn me up, turn me up. So I'm kind of unsure about my real feelings when it comes to that song in particular. Pleasure's Mine. That song has such a slow start, and I don't really get entertained until I hear like the little small little ukulele type sound. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Don't make me get up. Okay, I got my blick up. This bitch gon' do some sit-ups.
Yeah, I love that song. I like that one. And this is like a little quirk for me, but this album had so many songs that just allowed, you know, instrumentation to speak. I'm not sure what kind of story that this young man is trying to tell with this album, but I do know that it feels good, and in a way it still feels intentional until the last song. I'm not sure why he put it there, because you get all these heavy 808s and then psychedelic tracks, and then there's Sweet Home. And I'm like, okay, cool name. And then this happens.
We been drinking out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow. She done jumped in my Serato, got naked in the grotto. Say sweet home California, all so long. Say sweet home.
Don't Hate Me is not a bad song. It's not a bad song, but I was just like, yo, what's the point? Like, yo, bruh turned into Glee like at the end of the album for no reason. Huh. Now, overall, I don't think this is an album that I'll play completely over, but the tracks in the top half for sure. Like, at least the first, let's say 7 are downloads, and then maybe like 1 or 2 in the bottom. So it's a solid project. It's probably one of the best projects that's came out of the Cactus Jack camp in a while. I would have to give this album in particular maybe a very strong 7.7. I think that's fair. There's a couple of holes throughout the bottom where it's just like, I got all this heat at the top, and it seems like it wants to fall apart, but it doesn't, because the music is good. There really aren't any bad songs. It's just a bit, it's interesting placement of music in this album, to say the least about it. But nonetheless, I enjoyed the vocal performances by Don Toliver, even the whiny moments. Like I said, everything felt intentional. There were no bad verses on this album. Once again, this is a review for Octane by Don Toliver, and I am Croyant. Hey, if you made it this far, hit the subscribe button and drop a comment in the comment section. Am I biased, or am I glazing, or did you hate it? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Let me know. But until then, peace.